You did it. Good job. Welcome to Faz Radio and everyone else. Well, everyone else. We're going to have everyone else on today, hopefully, possibly.
I hope so. I want to get every side of this. I want everybody's opinion to be heard.
Speaking of everyone else, why don't you lead with that thing that you just showed me?
So,
it's about Gala games now.
So, a little bit of context, backstory. We have a very, very long relationship with this person. He goes by the name of Pork Chop. He's been in CFA for a couple years, and he is a former game designer. He's in the video game industry, has been. And he apparently lit up the room with a post that we're going to share here. Let me push my button. Oops, I got to click the damn gizmo flopper so people can see it. There, can you see it?
Yes. How on earth did you make a game worse than the alpha? So to give some context, Echoes of Empire is a new 4X game that's coming out through Gala Games. I've been particularly interested in it. However, anyway, what he says is so they've made an alpha for this game already, and they got a lot of criticism. I know this because I gave a lot of criticism for it, and they went and retooled things, and then they just put out their newest version of it. And my quick sense of it after playing it for about 20 minutes is it has issues, usability issues, playability issues, and so on. And Pork Chop here, apparently he didn't leave no stone unturned.
You forgot to fix your mic, Faz, for this new cast.
Okay, hold on. I gotta crank it up. Oh, it is. It's all the way up. I'm really loud. He says I'm loud. Did people not hear me?
He says it's low again.
It's as loud as it can. It's turned all the way up. How do I sound good to you?
You sound fine to me, but you sounded fine to me the last time your volume was low too, though. Is your finger? You're holding your phone.
Can CryptoView hear me?
Okay. Can CryptoPhone view you? Yes, he can.
The CryptoPhone view says it's okay. I think it's Zorro's fault because Zorro exists to give us shit.
It's okay though. We love Zorro. Yes. So anyway, back to this post. This was scathing.
So okay, my quick 2 cents, and I'm leaving this up so you can read this here. I don't want to steal his thunder. My problem with the redo of Echoes of Empire is I thought the game was slow and clicky before. They have not improved it, and what's worse is I'm trying to click some buttons now, and the buttons don't always click. And it's like, come on, guys, this is the first part of doing the game. Now, admittedly, I have a touchscreen laptop, and it doesn't work on the laptop, but it seems to work when I click with the mouse. So I'm like, are they trying for mobile, or does it run on mobile? I don't know. Whatever the case is, I kind of liken the game a little bit to like Homeworld, if you played Homeworld. But Homeworld is more animated, and I don't know. I don't like the all of the steps you have to go through. It's like, okay, if you want to go harvest something at a planet, you've got to click a new foundry on your thing. You've got to get the foundry up and going, which is the Homeworld does similar kind of thing. You've got to build your ship, create your ship, and then launch your ship, and then have the ship go to your thing. And then after it's done harvesting, then you got to collect your harvest. Well, you got to collect your resource manually. You got to go click collect on them. And I kind of feel what they're doing, since this is a blockchain game, is they're making you work, so to speak, for your Gala or your dust collected. And you can work in different ways that isn't so damn clicky. So it's kind of a very boring kind of game workflow. And that's what I think Pork Chop here is complaining about. Basic UX UI is broken. You took 3D designers and good UI developers. I mean, I can't move around the map very easily. When I click on various items on the thing, they unselect and stuff like that. So that's what I think he means by basic UX UI is broken. And it just, the game has always appeared very stiff and rigid to me. It needs to, like,
stiff and rigid.
Go to a party and just kind of relax a little bit.
At your age, you should embrace stiff and rigid.
Yeah. Can you actually share comments here? How do we actually show these? There we go. I agree with that.
So we are going to get to governance. I literally clicked over to do the announcement for Faz Radio, and I saw that one of our CFA members had posted that. And Pork Chop, he got frustrated with the progress of gaming and so forth, and stepped away for a while, said he'd be back later. Well, I guess he's back.
EOA, it's not a game I'm waiting for. Ha.
You have to click it back off to move to a different comment.
Echoes of Empire, it is. I like some things about it. They've got some neat visuals, but again, it seems very stiff and stilted. And I'm going to compare this to like Dune was in 1982 when that movie came out. Dune was very stiff and stilted. In the book, Dune was very stilted, and I get that feeling from Echoes of Empire. It has the Dune feeling to me.
Okay. I think people are here to hear about governance, though.
Yeah, I have some words for that too.
Are they going to get us demonetized?
Well, I mean, no.
We haven't hit monetization yet. And by the time we do, they're going to review our conversations and demonetize us before we get monetized.
Yeah, we got to get enough followers to be monetized before we get demonetized.
Right. We're almost there.
So, okay, what we want to talk about is the Gala node governance vote, which has just come out, where they want to make it so, frankly, put the honor system on Gala nodes giving out, awarding Gala. So say, I don't know, you have a node, and you get 100 Gala from that node a day. Before, they said, well, you can only cash out 5% of that Gala a day. So that'd be like 5 Gala. Now they've raised it to 20%. But they haven't solved the problem, in my opinion, which is, why the fuck are you limiting Gala? So I said, fuck. Does that demonetize us?
Yes.
Okay. So why are
we're over the hump? Anybody can say anything now.
Why are they wanting to limit the amount of Gala that can be moved over to the Gala chain, cached and stuff? It's like they want to work like the Fed. And so this really annoys me because I don't think they hit the root of the problem. I think that's one of their fundamental things they want to do, in my opinion, with this vote, is to limit how quickly Gala can be cashed in once it's minted. Now, if they're after the big node operators, okay, make it so that the less nodes you have, the more you can mint. I don't know, less than 5, you can mint all of it each day. That way, you'd encourage the little guy, which is what they want to do. And maybe if you're a big, bad node operator with you have 5,000 nodes, not naming names or anything, but you have 5,000 nodes or something, you shouldn't be able. I mean, I can understand if you want to limit it that way because they're going to put out more of the funds, and they want to decentralize it. They want to have as many little guys as possible. So open it up for the little guys. But no, they want it to where you can mint 20% to Geary a day.
Yeah. So that is a whole ball of wax. I think what I would like to do, at least, I shouldn't dictate. What I'd like to do is I would like to go through all these little nuances that people are missing, and they're assuming things that just aren't true. So in this instance, if right now they still aren't minting Tajiri or Gala Chain, they call it Gala Chain now, but they want to be there quickly, and they're hoping to have that enabled by the time this node vote, if it passes, that they do it, right? Well, here's the thing. They're blaming ETH fees, but they're saying, okay, if you mint to ETH, it's going to cost you $10-12 to mint to ETH, which 20% won't even cover the gas fees. But then they're saying, okay, well, if you mint to Gala Chain, and everybody goes, ooh, that's cool, that's what we want to be doing. Gala doesn't need a fee to bridge, okay? The way they have it set up. They're choosing. This is from Gala Chain to ETH.
Slow down. What about from the treasure chest to Gala Chain? Is that free?
There's no more treasure chest. That's going away.
Well, I thought, wait a minute. If you're getting rewards every day, they said you can only mint so much to Gala Chain, right?
Correct.
Where's it minting from?
Gala.
Okay, wait. So if I choose not to mint it,
you're
money collecting at? Where's this
the pseudo treasure chest will be Gala Chain itself. I don't know where they're pushing the button to mint from.
You have both said the treasure chest doesn't exist and asserted that a treasure chest exists. Especially, well,
it's going to be held in a wallet-like thing on Gala Chain.
There's a literal something on the Gala page saying treasure chest. That's what TC is. So I would suggest that maybe going from the treasure chest to Gala Chain is what you're looking for here, but you're trying to say it's not, which
it's going to be held in a wallet, in a database wallet on Gala Chain, and when it mints to a different wallet on the Gala Chain. And then if you want to take it off of Gala Chain to go to ETH so that you can be liquid with it, they're going to charge you money to do that. And recently it was posted by a couple of members that Gala has set that fee at $20. It used to be $10. They bumped it using the excuse that ETH fees are high. So even if people have, it goes directly to Gala Chain and you get all excited about Gala Chain, you're going to have to pay a ridiculous fee to move it to ETH anyway. So you got to get that out of your head that ETH fees are bad and ETH fees are going away because of Gala Chain. No, you don't have an ETH fee anymore. Now you have a Gala fee. And they set that. That is not something that's based on anything. They can choose any amount that they want for bridging in and bridging out. And it's not really even necessary, but that's a whole different conversation.
All right. I'm being told by people that people can't hear me, and I'm being told by other people that they can hear me just fine. So
I hear you just fine.
We're just going to have to go with that. Maybe it's because I'm too far away from the microphone. Anyway, okay, whatever the case, they want to have a fee, which is kind of weird. I would like to have my Gala on Ethereum. So if you're a big, bad node operator and you get lots of Gala a day, whatever fee you pay, if it's a $25 fee, well, great. You're getting enough Gala each day that the fee isn't a big deal. But if you're just a regular node operator where you're getting probably about $5 of Gala a day, you're allowed to mint 20% of that. So it's like,
no, that's not true either.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, now I'm reading. I when I got home from work today, I started going through. Apparently, it's 20% is allowed to be minted from the giant pool that's paid. So if you take the number of nodes that are running, divide that by the.
Are you sure that's not 20%? Wait, 20% of
times,
all Gala, not 20% of your treasure chest.
Right. Times 0.2 will tell you how much you can mint. And the math whizzes up there are saying that would be about 70 Gala a day that you could
That's a bunch
mint.
of bullshit. E-fees are higher than that.
Right. That's what I was
Gala
saying
would have to be
earlier
worth
when you
like
when you
$4
shut me
or
up.
something. Gala would have to be worth like $4 to be or $2 to make it
So
worth it.
yeah, I mean the whole thing is ridiculous. Restricting anybody at any point to me is ridiculous. They weren't restricting how many nodes people could buy when they wanted money. They weren't restricting how much they charged when people bought the nodes. But now that people want to enjoy the rewards of their nodes, they want
See,
them to...
okay, right. And so that's the thing. Sorry, I'm cutting you off. I see.
I'm used to it.
I see the nodes as like buying a Chevy Silverado, and that's fine. I can buy it, and then I can use that Silverado to do work to get Gala every day. But if I'm buying something from you, and I'm getting Gala every day with that Chevy Silverado, and then I'm told that Chevy Silverado can only go 20 miles an hour, what the fuck, dude? I mean, or you can only unload at 20% a day. What the fuck? So it's all about. I mean, if this is rewards for you to reward you for something you're doing, give me my money, bitch. I mean, give me my money. What the fuck?
So, I've had so many conversations about this, right? So, some really, really smart people, way smarter than me, went to the blockchain. Shut it. They went to the blockchain and they pulled data off. And the minting for people who just regular node owners and that actually go sell it is tremendously low as it is. But the problem is they don't, I think, this is my opinion, I think Gala thinks in their mind, if the circulating supply doesn't go up, that will provide them some sort of benefit. And my argument to that is, that isn't going to provide a benefit. You have to have a use case for Gala. People have to need Gala, and currently they don't need Gala for anything. There's no reason to even have Gala. You can buy anything from the store with credit card, with ETH, or with Gala. So you don't have to have Gala. Now, here's something that I was thinking about, and I want to be very careful how I say this so that you're not throwing me the FUD monkey moniker, right? But at the same time, Gala knows what Gala knows. We don't know what Gala knows. What if after they get let's assume this passes, right? And these rewards coming out, you're never restricted. You can mint anytime you want. You just don't get to accumulate more later, just like the honor system, right? What if later, 3, 4, 5, 6 months after Gala decides that this is going to be implemented, that they go, oh, it's Gala only to buy things on the store. That gives a use case for Gala, and the people then are going to want to be able to mint because Gala is going to be worth something. What if something like that happens? People are going to be honked off mad,
so
right?
Let me agree with you, but in a different way. I have a problem with the fact that so they have stated various uses for Gala in the past. They have stated that you're going to buy in-game assets with it. They have stated that you could get in-game assets. They say that you can use them and use Gala in games, such as, I don't know, Mirandus, if you want to buy a sword, you could use Gala to do that. And then they've stated that you can use it for gas. And they kind of switch and move around all these things. And Mirandus now, everything's Materium. And, you know, they keep moving the ball. They keep moving the goalposts for what the purpose of Gala is. Now, it's a gas token. But it wasn't that originally. It was going to be the currency for all the games when I got into Gala. So, okay, fine. I like the fact that they've come up with a use. I do not like the fact that they keep changing the use over and over and over again, because it starts to show that maybe they don't know what they're doing. Or, okay, fine. If they have to make an educated, I don't know, decision on why they would change how Gala works, can they give reasons? I'm not seeing as many reasons. They'll give a reason. They're like, oh, well, we've decided that we now want to use game currencies in the games, like Silk and Town Coin and stuff like that. And then like, oh no, wait, no, we want to use Gala. We're using Gala. Now I believe they're back to coins, and I get it. They want to change things and so on, but they're not giving a lot of reasoning. They're just doing it. And again, I want to see a lot of communication with this going, let me give you the 17 reasons why we decided this. And I don't know, make market changes or crypto environment a reasoning for it, or, that kind of thing. But they don't. They're just like, oh, we're doing it this week. We're doing it different next week. So I have a problem with the fact that if you're going to get Gala as a reward, you're going to want it for something. You don't know what you want it for, but you're going to need it for something, unless you don't. Unless you do.
So you want to hear another big gripe that I have, and this got drowned out with everybody's passion. The duality on this and the irony of this. Gala and Brink himself has been in there saying this over and over on repeat. This is for the good of the long term for the economy. The long term. Their idea of long term is 3 weeks. They have no long term plans, folks. We've been in this ecosystem going on 3 years, and everything is completely different. So when they say the words long-term vision or long-term sustainability, things change so fast, there's no long-term about anything. And that's why you don't want to lock yourself into any decision as a node licensee for long-term anything. If this goes through, it's never coming off. I guarantee it. It's never going to come off. So you're going to be locked in long-term while they make short-term decisions and pivot.
Right. Okay.
Right?
Yeah, let me agree with you on this. The biggest problem I have with it, like I said, is the lock-in part. This is an intentional. I don't care whatever else they're talking about with this node. All the other things could be all sorts of cool things. The fact that they're locking you in to keeping the Gala and only outputting it to a blockchain at a speed that they choose is the problem. I can understand if they're going to sell things and price NFTs higher because you always have a choice and stuff like that. But they're trying to act like the Fed here with this coin, and that's completely centralized. Completely, they're in charge. It's there's why even say that you're doing anything decentralized at that point? They want to lock you in. And so you're really not getting Gala. They're giving us more Gala, if you noticed recently, but it doesn't matter because you're not going to be able to get it out. I mean, they can give you all the Gala every single day, and you're not going to be able to. If you can't get it out, what's the point?
You can get it out, you just won't earn more. You're severely restricted. You'll never catch back up if you do.
Well,
let me hit the centralization thing.
Yes, let's explain what you're talking about, which is if you're using the honor system, the more Gala you remove, the less ability you have to earn more. I don't cash out any of my Spire Tank Silk tokens because if I did, I can't earn as fast. And so they're strongly encouraging people to keep funds in the game. Well, that's a bunch of BS in my opinion. If I want to take the funds and smoke them, roll them into a cigar and smoke them, that's up to me. If I want to burn them, if I want to sell them to other people, that's my thing. Their thing should be able to give us reasons to spend, not enforce limits on spending. On getting. That's where they have to do their job and their due diligence by giving us reasons. They need to make us want to spend. that's the purpose of a game company, in my opinion.
I've had that argument before, and here's the thing: like backing up to that centralization thing, right? Their big shtick on this is they're saying, "Hey, we're doing this to decentralize, to further decentralize the network." People don't understand decentralization. Decentralization isn't what the node owners do. Decentralization is who controls the network. Okay? From the top level down. You don't own a node. You don't own software. You don't own any of that. You have a license to get earnings on because you've paid that fee. All right? So if you force these big node owners to sell, and the nodes just disperse to the 50 that this whale has, right, goes to 50 different people. That's not decentralizing anything because nothing is on the nodes. It's being oh, by the way, when we had this argument last time, you said, how do you know they're using AWS? Well, they just had a Miranda's thing, and McCarthy said they are on AWS, so it was verified. So, but anyway, that's my point. They're pushing the software from AWS. That's what needs decentralized. We need to be able to have things on those nodes, doing workloads on those nodes, having games on those nodes. That's decentralization, not how many nodes are spread out where.
And let me agree with you again here. So this is an episode where Faz and Titan agree.
This is weird. There's something wrong.
I got into this September of 2020 because I liked the idea that if Gala Games went out of business, this node ecosystem would carry on, and these games, all these games that they have, would still be able to play. Minus the ones they sold to competitors, of course. Basically, it's going to be their shittiest games, if I'm not mistaken. But it would be nice to see a good game actually stay on the decentralized nodes, let the nodes actually vote for it and stuff like that. But we're not really given a roadmap of how they're going to get there. All we hear really is, well, that's our vision. We're going to get there one day. Okay, why don't you show me that you really care on a regular basis? That's why I bought into Gala. The way they're operating is just as we're in control. So if they're operating as we're in control, we're seeing what they're doing. And what they're saying is eventually one day it'll be decentralized, but it's not going to be by seeing what they're doing. And especially with them locking down the tokens, give some reasons why that's good for the ecosystem. They at least spoke to that with spider tags. But another way, if you want to control money, control the amount of stuff that's actually minted. Sorry, that's actually distributed. So if you want to if you don't want a lot of Gala minted every day, then control the maximum amount of Gala that's being distributed each day. There you go. Let me have my fucking rewards once you gave them to me. That's my thing.
So I want to do a quick educational piece, and then over in the comments, I'm going to post a link. And that link will allow you to join us here live on Faz Radio to talk about your opinions, get something off your chest. You can use a computer, a phone. Faz is on his iPhone right now. It's a StreamYard link, so I'm going to post that momentarily. This is a huge thing, though, to me, that people are not understanding, and I see comments in these node channels constantly about this. And I just want to reach through the screen and choke people. What people are not realizing here is right now we're getting like 460 tokens a day, right? And Gala's telling you, you get 1 point to start out, and every day that you don't mint, you get an extra point, and that goes up exponentially and blah, 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 blah. Okay. People in their minds are thinking, well, I'm going to get 465 a day plus a part of this bonus point, and that's fantastic. So even if I sell, I'm fine. Guys, no. That point that you get initially, you will not get 465 a day anymore. You're going to start off at somebody did the math, and again, I can't verify their math, but it's if you search through the node channel, it's going to be like 70 tokens. Each point is going to be worth like 70 Gala tokens. So on day 1, you're going to get 70 Gala in your account. And day 2, you're going to have 2 points. You might get 140 in your account. But remember, other people are accumulating points too, so it's going to dilute the amount of Gala for each point that you accumulate. You're going to be a month into this and getting 60 tokens a day, and you're going to be really, really upset. Really upset. You do not get a guaranteed minimum. That point is only worth the math for how many nodes are running and how many Gala are being distributed per day. Okay? And how many points are in the system. It's constantly being diluted. So please understand that. I'm going to go grab that link now. Did you understand that, Faz?
A little bit.
No, I mean, did you think you were going to get like a 465 minimum?
Frankly, I didn't look enough into the point system because the point system seems to me to be a whole bunch of magic to make you. It doesn't matter. You're still not going to be able to mint your shit no matter what they come up with. I mean,
you can. You just will not earn. Your points will be ridiculously diluted.
But the point is, okay, then it sounds like there's 2 different ways that they're going to keep you from getting money out. Where's the benefits? Why do I want this? So if you want me to vote yes, tell me why. Tell me something really cool. Like, we need the money in the ecosystem because we need the money not to be, I don't know, out on the exchanges because. Tell me a fucking reason. That's what I'm not getting.
Well, here's the thing, right? So there was some kerfuffle because Benny decided to start throwing some F-bombs again. And there was a kerfuffle where he mentioned something about, fuck this, you try paying the salaries around here when you're complaining about Gala being able to mint. Here's a really good idea, right? Why don't you sell stuff that people actually want to buy and get your revenue that way? Because my point is, why does Gala think they should get 50% of the node rewards anyway?
So I'd like to use the car company analogy again because I like analogies because I'm an asshat like that. Can you imagine?
Wait, 1 second. While you're talking, 1 second. Link is posted if you want to join us. Click the link, get yourself set up on your phone. You'll pop up in my dashboard. I'll let you in as soon as I can. Okay, there might be multiple people, so you may have to wait a minute. Sorry, thank you, Faz. Go ahead. Okay. Car analogy number 2.
Can you imagine going to buy a car? And I like to use Chevy Silverado because they're big and they're expensive. So you're going to go buy yourself a Chevy Silverado. You want a nice truck. And you go, and then you get sticker shock. Holy fuck, man, this thing costs a lot of money. Why would I want to pay that? And then the boss comes out and says, how do you think I pay my fucking salaries of these people? How do you think these people get their money? It's through you paying all this. We've got to stay in business somehow. That to me is really the manager complaining that they're losing. Okay. What? Are your competitors starting to get ahead? Why are you complaining to the customer about your problems? You know what? You can complain all you want. Your competitor's just going to get ahead. Okay. You might as well just admit it to everybody that you couldn't do it. What? Is your Chevy Silverado not doing well anymore? Is the Ford, whatever it is, the Dodge Ram and the Ford, I forgot, the F-350 or F-150, is it kicking your ass? I mean, why would you yell at the customer? Why would you give customers shit because you are not selling stuff? That's kind of BS. Cry me a fucking river. It's called capitalism. And if your competitor is doing a better job, then maybe you should shut the fuck up. I don't know.
When we did one of our casts with Brink, okay, when he came on here, both of you razzed me up and down when I brought that topic up, that you have to give me a reason to spend the tokens.
I don't recall that. You have a very selective memory.
you gave your standard. Well, we're still so early. The games take a long time to get put out, and yada 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 kind of thing.
I do defend the development process, and I defend a lot of communication. So what if the manager came out and didn't complain to you, but instead said, "Okay, here's the deal. You want to buy this Chevy Silverado? We have the reason the price is so much is because we have the most advanced truck out there to date." And we have this in the truck, and 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 our competitors aren't anywhere close to this. This is what you're paying for. That's salesmanship. That is awesome. That makes me want the goddamn truck. Okay? I'm not going to want the truck if you're going to complain to me about your woes running the goddamn business. Sorry. Tell me why I want to play the game. Don't tell me why your life sucks.
So what do you think about this? This I don't want to say battle, but this kerfuffle between Wright Thurston and Eric Schiermeyer, the two 7,000 node owners. Do you think that plays into this at all?
Well, I don't have enough understanding of the situation, and I don't think anyone else does either. What apparently we've heard is a bunch of rumors. What we've heard is a bunch of rumors that Wright Thurston was an original investor in Gala, and that he left in a huff. Eric Schiermeyer and Wright Thurston don't like each other for whatever reason, probably because Wright Thurston has gotten in trouble with the SEC. And
who knows?
What?
Who knows? But they used to be good buddies.
And so, whatever the case is, Wright Thurston is radioactive for some reason, and some people are saying that Gala Games is making things onerous to make things harder on him. Well, I'm sorry to say this. If he has a shitload of nodes, he's still making a lot of money, even through this new system, even through 20% being minted each day. What it really hurts is the little node owners. So if he's trying to punish Wright Thurston, he's doing a bad job of it. So that's kind of a BS argument.
So when we look at this from what it really is, and we get rid of the excuses for decentralization, we get rid of the excuses because they can't come out and say, hey, we're doing this to pump the token. It's not going to pump anyway because there's no use for the Gala token. It's just going to limit what goes out. Well, and in the meantime, listen, so somebody brought this up.
They have uses. They're coming up with a new use every day. The problem is they're not sticking to the uses that they come up with.
Right. I talked about that a little bit earlier.
Well, no,
yeah.
no.
They're changing their mind.
You're telling you said before that they have no use, and I've always said they have this kind of use, that kind of use, whatever. The problem is they ended around my argument by changing their mind over and over again. It's like, okay, we were going to do it this way, now we're going to do it that way, now we're going to do it that way, and not really giving much reasons other than we have to pay the goddamn bill. Shut the fuck up. That's all.
Well, all right, so there's another bone of contention in this, because I forgot what I was going to say before. And it's one of my things that you and I have argued about before. Has your opinion changed at all around hey, if they would just have focused and put their minds, money, energy, and resources into games instead of fucking around with film and music and social networks and theme parks, do you think that they would be further ahead and be in a much better position today?
No, I believe diversity is a better idea. I think music and film present different opportunities than games. Had they put it all in games, their games are down a lot. Had they put it all in games, they would have just lost more. When you make money and then you take it and put it in a bunch of other buckets, you give yourself a chance that all those buckets won't go down as much as just having it all, putting all your eggs in one bucket. So no, I think I would totally suggest if they had to do it again that they diversify. Good idea.
I thought it was way too early. They shouldn't have jumped in this early. They should have had and stood up 3 or 4 or 5 games first, brought that revenue in, got a successful platform running, and then if they want to jump in to these other other things, that's great.
Okay.
They didn't have to be in there that early. There's like nobody else doing any of this stuff.
Rich people don't get rich by doing something, waiting for it to come to fruition, and then doing something else. Rich people get rich by doing something else, and then waiting for all those things to come to fruition because one of them will pay off. So you're saying, well, let's just say you're trying to, if you have 10 bullets in your gun, you're going to try to shoot the same target 10 times. And I'm saying it looks like they're trying to shoot 5 targets 2 times. So,
well, okay, so you thought I was being very brash for our end of year 2022 show at New Year's when I said they were having a lot of money problems, and I think that's pretty obvious today that they even more now are.
Well, who isn't? Who isn't having money problems? I mean, there's banks and there's corporations failing left and right. I just read something saying like several millionaires have become insolvent or bankrupt during the last 2 years. The whole fucking economy is going through the shitter. Of course they're doing bad. So if you're gonna make that assertion, you need to compare to, I don't know, maybe a whole bunch of other things that have done really well while they've been doing bad.
So Quasar there, so absolutely, they've got to create the demand, but they got to just, this is the year of show me. Those of you who've been around Faz Radio, we designated at the beginning of the year, this is the year of show me. Stop with the talk, stop fucking around with everything except standing up games. Stand them up, put them out. No more alpha tests, no more beta tests. Put out and keep out a game. Now, they sort of did that with Grit, and that was, from what I heard, was kind of a dumpster fire, and still is. We have Townstar.
Let's stop right there, because if they put out a game and they concentrate on it, and the game fails, then everything fails. So that's what I'm getting at. If they're gonna, I like their angle where they're going after multiple games. Now, I do have criticisms for each individual game. Townstar's some criticism, and especially Echoes of Empire that we started with. What the fuck are they doing, man? I don't know.
So we have some guests waiting to talk.
All right.
We're going to start with Mr. Quasar, who we just talked about. Welcome, Quasar.
Hey, guys. Thanks.
Boy.
No problem. What do you got on your mind?
Well, I mean, it's agreeing what you guys are talking about here. And if they want to claim to be... Okay, so I guess, Titan, you started it out with saying salaries, right? Like, that's what really got me thinking about this, was that if they're worried about paying salaries, and Benny's in there talking about that publicly, saying that he's worried about paying those salaries, then this is a business, and you need to worry about cash flow. And if you want to worry about cash flow, then you need to worry about getting sales done. And if you want to worry about getting sales done, lower these NFT prices to something reasonable for more people and other places to pick them up. I get that they have this like staged price increase and burn, and like I get what they're trying to create with demand, but damn, let people buy these things. Let them get into their hands and then have content to use with them. Because I can own this thing, but if I don't have a game for 3 years, it's stupid.
If he's complaining about his own business plan, that's a problem. For him to start saying, look, I got to pay all these people, my 2 cents is, if you're actually successful and good at what you're doing, why isn't your business plan working? So why are you complaining to us about the fact that you aren't raking in money? Why don't you change things on your side? I don't know, fire some people. I don't know, get rid of a project or sell something to make your business plan work. It just sounds like he's complaining that he's run out of gas in his car and it's our fault.
We also have the one, the only Crypto View, who's joining us as well.
From his castle, apparently.
Look at that castle. Is that a Miranda's castle? Your mic isn't working there, bud.
That is
there you go.
That's the citadel of the sun, my friend.
What do you have on your mind, Crypto View?
Well, I really love Gala and everything, but I really don't like to get penalized for getting my rewards. I think that's not what I signed for, and I think it's very important that to work this thing around because I think I'd never liked the honor system. I think they should work a way around to work the economy without penalizing the initial idea of thought of what this ecosystem was about and changing like the primary object. Besides that, like I have no problem. Like maybe they can work something out. They've been thinking and thinking. I don't know what they're gonna do, but they should do something different though.
Yeah, and I talk a lot of shit on here, and Faz usually has something on the other side to balance out that context. But I mean, these are the same things we've been saying for 2.5 years. It's the same things. It's over and over and over again. Just put things out and put them out reasonably. These people are here to support Gala, but they're not going to do it with $1,000 NFT. They're not going to do it when you buy this $15,000 Townstar node and they shut it off 3 months into it, and here we are 16 months later, and all you get for an answer is, well, we're figuring it out.
Well, they're
No.
putting out a bunch of smaller NFTs. They've been doing that with Townstar for about the last 6 months at least. They've been putting out a lot of cheaper stuff, but they don't earn, and so it's okay. So they have listened that they're not putting out $1,000 NFTs, but why would people buy them? I mean, that's all.
They're sitting in your wallet collecting dust. Now,
Well, they
when
they
it
bind those NFTs to compete, no, because there is competition. So that's why they're so limited to a small amounts, and they bind those NFTs to compete.
So that is catering to a very small subset of people, right? The competitors.
Well, you gotta
How many-
understand.
how many-
You gotta understand how many people are playing the Townstar game right now. I don't think there is that many players right now.
But what I'm getting at is, if you're going to cater to part of your community rather than the whole community, I would think if you're going to be, I like the idea of diversification. So why not throw everybody a bone? Realize, our community is made up of 4 types of people, and we're going to hit the one type this week, another type the next week, because we're going to give everybody some love instead of basing the entire economy around. Right now, it seems. It was around NFTs. Now it's around competition, and then that's it. It's like, okay, what else? So unless you're really good at Townstar, why would you play?
Well, any game that you play to win. And I always, like, at the beginning, I always thought, like, with Gala game, like, you always have to play to win in order to earn. But they start giving people earnings or rewards just for participating. And I think that was the mistake at the beginning. I think at the beginning they should make, but then you think about it, there is a lot of bots out there. They cheat. So how do you take care of those bots so they don't take the rewards? So it's complicated in the way, like what we do, like we make them compete for the rewards, for them to win, or we just give things out. So I think this is something new. They're working around it and then trying to figure out a way to do it. But in order for them to penalize you in anyhow, or let's not say penalize, let's say they restrict you to get your rewards wherever you want, okay, and if you do, then you get like left behind, then it's something they should work it out, and I don't think it's something they should go through. Like in my case, like I say, I love Gala. I support them with everything. I love everything they do, and I don't like Echoes of Empires. but I think I'm voting no on the proposal.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not where it should be, especially for all the people who have been patiently waiting. Most of the Node people have been here for a very long time. We've been waiting very long time for games. I'm not even a gamer, right? I play just very, very casually. I'm looking forward to Miranda's, but at the same time, let's get something stood up here. Keep my attention. I tried playing Spider Tanks. I tried playing Town Star. This vote is going to kill whatever community is left. I started rubbing people the wrong way because I started calling it customers instead of community. And to me, the community aspect has been so minimized by all the shifts in direction and issues that have taken place over time. It's not to me, it's not a community anymore. They're viewing us as customers, not as a community.
Well, I don't feel that way. I don't feel like more like a customer. I feel more like a community, and I differ from you on that because I see no, it's true because I see
It's okay.
in what in like I don't talk to the owners of Amazon. I don't talk to the owners of Best Buy when I go by. Like I talk to Bitbender on Discord all the time. So I feel like family in that way. But what I don't like, I don't feel like a customer. I feel like a community because they do listen to what they say. I think they try their best, but maybe they haven't find the secret sauce. Yes, maybe they don't, but they try. It's not like I was in another communities where they not even talk to you. You not even see the owners anywhere. So in that way, I do feel like a community. I don't feel like a customer. That I differ from you, but I really think the penalized thing or the reward thing is not right.
Yeah, so it's okay to disagree with us. We all have opinions. We're all allowed to have them. I'd love to see the community come back. It was there for a while, but it's completely gone now, and they're further dividing us. Right now, they're dividing us into yes/no camps. So this is not very different from anything else. We're fighting amongst ourselves instead of coalescing together to push them in the right direction. And they have entities like the Esports Mafia, the MAF, right, who's doing some epic things to try and get adoption. You have a lot of these gamers. We have Zorro, Classy, who's trying to promote it and trying to get the word out. The problems are when people hit that wall with Gala, they get into this ecosystem and they look around and they go, I don't know what I'm supposed to even be doing here. And speaking of Zorro, there's the man, the myth, the legend himself.
Oh no! I gonna mute my microphone. The big sorrow is in.
What's going on, Great W? What are you doing here?
I don't know. I was eating and you told me jump in to talk to Titan and Fast, and I said, you know what? Let me jump in. But I was upset because Fast didn't have any steel boxes on the back.
Yeah, I think you came to just move the pop around, right? That's what you do all the time, Great W. Hi, Titan. How are you?
Hello, Mr. Zorro. So, are you? Yeah, he joined us. Are you in the yes camp or the no camp, Zorro?
Listen, I just want to say something.
Sure.
We need better games. We need good games. That's all what Gala games need. That's all. Very simple as that. We don't need to go through all what we're doing right now to go through all the founders and others to do this or do that. I think Gala Game has to concentrate in doing good game. That's all. Yes, good game takes time to do. You're not gonna do a good game in 1 year. Don't lie to yourself. Don't do that. If you're a real gamer and you has been around video games for many years in your life, it is true. You know, Gala games have all the support from an amazing community. It is true. They do have an amazing community. They have the support of a lot of people. What we need is just a good games. That's it. We don't have to through we don't have to go through all these what we're doing right now and oh let's gonna reward these or let's gonna make the founders and others do this or that. For what? For what? We have to figure it out first. The main product. What is the main product? To have fun. That's it.
Yeah, yeah, but that was that the idea also to get rewarded for having fun is cool.
Well,
and they,
if you don't
and they
have a
need to
good,
work and they need to work they
well,
need to
create the
work
view,
on it.
well, create the view. I understand that, but how you gonna get that reward that you want if you're not having fun yet? If you're not having a good game yet?
I have a comment. I agree with Zorro 100%. The only thing I'd like to add to that is when you play a game, especially if you get up to a high level or you get a lot of stuff, that is actually value that previously has not been taken advantage of. If I got my game to level 30 and then say I got banned, that's value. I want this value to absorb into my NFT so that I can own it and then sell it to someone else if I got banned or whatever. I want there needs to be some sort of reward for going through all that trouble of playing the game. And yes, definitely the games need to be good, which is actually mine and probably Porkchop's assessment of Echoes of Empire. Echoes of Empire is a neat idea, but they're doing it in a very stilted way, and the game is not appearing to be very fun. And so I think they're going to go through a number of iterations to get this game working in a more cool way.
Okay, so that brings up another topic that people have been talking about in the governance thing as well about the future, in that ramping up these games and getting them to the right level. What is the right level for that to be? What is going to make people happy to want to be able to be in that ecosystem?
I think one of the essential features that a game have to have is you have to be able to play those games with your friends. That makes a game ton of fun to be able for a person to play video games with your friends online, doing this, doing that, whatever. That is essential. When you have a game like Spider Tanks, Spider Tank is a good game. Spider Tank, make Spider Tank be playable as easy as possible with your friends, and you will see the results.
We did a lot of that
Why?
when Spider Tanks
What?
first came out.
Yeah, yeah, but they were having problems with the matchmaking. So
Well,
like for example,
that's
I'm trying to play with Zorro and Lava like almost every night, and we wait for and nothing happens. So that what Zorro is saying is very important. Like we used to, like I know Zorro for long time, more than
we're
17 years, and we used to play Call of Duty every night, like every night. I almost got divorced because of that. And then it was true. And sometimes we're not even playing. We just hanging out. They killing us over and over and over again. But we were having so much fun just talking to each other, every night. So the way a game can make it like more attractable is to share it with friends, like to talk to them. So I think that's very important. Also, I think they should concentrate more in mobile games, because we already, the generation who's buying this NFT Web3 idea is the generation us, like the millennials and the X generation, and we are already working too much, so we don't have too much time in our hands. So they need to concentrate more in mobile games, in my opinion, and short, quick games, something that you can play real quick and move on.
These games, it's not for lack of trying. What do you think of the, and I hate using the word excuse, but I don't know another word for it, where like with Grit not doing so well, with that kitty cat game, not doing as hot as they thought it was, and they say,
Hey,
well, it's
I'm playing the
not
kitty
on
cat
us. well, you have Brink coming in, and he's saying, well, hey, that's kind of not our problem. It's up to the developers. Same with EOE. It's up to the developers. Okay, well, where does that fall into this? Do you accept those as valid reasons why you can't have good games? Or is it Gala's job to
Gala just
push
wants to
that?
be Gala just wants to be a publisher. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's fine. Sorry, Fast, but it is Gala. It is Gala work to be able to manage the developers, because at the end of the day, the product that they're creating together, they are together in that. So it's not up to the community to decide and say, let's gonna push the developers. No, that's Gala business. And remember, that's Gala game. Gala game at the end of the day is a business, and they have to run certain stuff as a business owner.
Well, of course they do. And we talked about that a little bit earlier. They've got to bring products, which starts with having a stand-up game, right? They've got to bring products that people actually want to buy. There's a reason to buy them. They're reasonably priced, and it'll give them entertainment value. Now, we know the Web3 thing, and there was a comment just a little bit ago. People are in Web3. They want money. They want all that. Okay, great. But you have to have something that's going to give them $100 worth of either rewards or entertainment value. Is that NFT, or they're trying to change that now, verifiable digital asset? I don't know if you saw that tweet earlier. Is that going to give you at least $100 worth of entertainment value over time? And
I
they can't keep doing that.
I want to comment on this. Two things. I want to say one thing about verifiable digital asset. I don't know what the fuck they mean by verifiable. Digital asset is nice, but verifiable means, in my opinion, some sort of KYC, which they have not. They've asked about, but they and telegraphed, but they haven't said they were going to do. And here with the name change, that's kind of they're telegraphing what they're going to do. But the next part is, okay, is it $100 worth of gameplay? I would say right now, this area is new. Nobody wants to put a dollar value on gameplay, so somebody has to start. So fine, they can put $100 of value on there, and then that's going to give a metric that all the other competitors are gonna go by and try to exceed. So I'm all fine with them defining this is $100 worth of value. But also, if they're going to do that, I want to see the same kind of advertisements that I see for other things that have hundreds of dollars worth of value. I'd love to see a commercial for a fucking NFT. Like, get this NFT. This is going to be an awesome a part for the game. Get this homestead. It's going to enable some real fun-ass playing. I want to see commercials like this. I want that NFT badly.
Well, they're trying to do it organically, number one. And number two, that's what this whole social network, this rep thing that they got, they want it to be like the old days. See, I've talked about this before. They're trying to go back to the old days of Facebook and Zynga, where you had to have friends in order to play the game. And things grew organically, and people found out about the game because you had to have 10 friends or you couldn't get up to this level. And it brings people in. They're late to the game. It's going to be at least a year before that comes out, and they're trying to do things today and get money today for things that are too far out. They've got to stand something up. They got to focus their energy on something and stand it up.
That's a venture capital thing, okay? They're treating their customers like venture capitalists. Yes, it's perfectly fine to do stuff like that. I'm okay with them selling something now that's not going to be used until later. The problem is, do people understand this or not? Do they think they buy something that they're going to be using it right away or a year or two from now? And I think they think they're going to be using it right away. So only in the case of spider tanks should they be really pushing those new tanks hard. But pushing a new Mirandus thing, that's kind of disingenuous. People aren't used to that.
So, I do think, Zorro, going all the way back to when you first joined us, I think that's an excellent argument, and that's kind of what I was talking about a little earlier, that they're messing around with everything except games. That's what they should be focused on, is games, and we've talked about that, and I hope for everybody, all these node licensees, people who are holding these, and people who have contributed to the ecosystem, whether it's by purchasing something or even just being a part of the Discord, that they're under that understanding now, and they get the fact that this is supposed to be about gaming. I don't think they do. There is a lot of money. Yeah, I've been pulling those up too fast. It is. People come in here, and then that's where they hit that wall, and they go, it's going to cost me $600 before I can even put a spider tank out in the arena. Yeah, they want to earn some of that back. So I get that part. But the game itself, if there was no tokens whatsoever, would that game survive? That's what you have to look at.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. So there are a number of games that come out. So there are games that come out that fit the new norm, or the new way of doing things. For example, would Pac-Man have taken off if arcade games weren't a thing? Now, before Pac-Man, there was Pong, and people had Pong at home and stuff like that. Would Pac-Man have been great at home? Yes. But would it have been made as much money as it would have in the arcade? I don't think so. I think that the whole part of it being so cool and hard to get to, and you have to keep shoveling in quarters and stuff like that, is what made arcade games really, really, they had their heyday. And so when the Nintendo came out, it was Super Mario Brothers. Super Mario Brothers was an arcade game, but it didn't do as well as when the Nintendo came out with their system. They formed their entire system around Super Mario, and that did better. So I think you're going to find some blockchain games will only work well in blockchain because of the unique factors in blockchain. Oh, because you get money. It's going to make you be willing to do things you wouldn't be willing to do in other games. So no, that's not a disadvantage. It's an advantage, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is. In the long term, it is.
But that's talk about long term. I'd love to hear your opinion on that, Zorro, because we talked about it a little bit earlier. With Gala professing long term everything, but then changing the direction and changing their minds every few months, how does that impact your perspective from a gamer on this? Are you able to roll with that easily?
Not really, but at the same time, I always has been clear that um, Gala Game is a business, and as every business out there, they're gonna have some challenge in doing certain stuff, you know. And on the other hand, we have to understand too that um, I think Fast mentioned that before, that they're creating stuff that it wasn't there before, you know. And for them as a company trying to develop and do all these um, new ecosystem with these new tools, I would say is kind of hard to do that. You know, it's kind of difficult. It won't be that easy to do that. And obviously, they will make one step forward and then they're gonna go back because we have been watching that too. And you know, um, to work in an environment that is kind of new with the new technology that we're 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 using. I understand it won't be easy for them to. I understand that would be times that they're gonna make progress, and they might have to stop going back. I'm not trying to excuse anybody here, but it's a reality.
Very good point. And for crypto view there, as Zorro has mentioned, Gala first is a business, which makes us customers first.
Okay,
just saying.
Okay, so yes, I agree that they're a business, and they need to do what they need to do to make the business work, and that's true of any gaming company. Let's talk about Electronic Arts. Businesses frequently start projects and cancel them and stuff like that, and really make people really sad and mad that things aren't going their way. However, that's a balance point. You've got to balance your ability to make a game with your customers, or you're going to lose the customers. So yes, they are a business, but the business won't stay in business if they don't pay attention to their customers. By the way, we might want to mute when we're not talking, because I'm hearing a steady hiss now. Oh, that was Koizar.
And welcome back, Koizer.
And I'm gonna be jumping out in just a second here. So keep going, definitely, because I think we have a good conversation.
Oh, this is awesome. So yeah, he shows up late and then disappears. See how he is?
Yeah.
There's reasons that I can't go in, that I go into more in the green room.
I know. I'm just busting your chops. You know that. So Koizer, welcome back. What say you?
Well, I guess I have more questions than anything else. I didn't really follow coming into this node vote for what's going on. So are there two different directions that we're talking about going in potentially for this vote?
Well, if you vote yes, you're voting for what the proposal says, and that would give you the ability to earn a little bit less if you decide to mint. And if you vote no, then absolutely nothing changes. It's like it is today. You'll get your 400 and however it was. Of course, that's not guaranteed, but it'll just continue the way that it is now. I would imagine, my guess is that if it goes no, then they're going to put out another proposal. They're going to propose something until they get something. That's my guess.
I just want to hear a strong reason from them why they want to limit Gala from being redeemed by people who it's theirs. It's your Gala. Once it's been given to you as a reward, you should be able to cash it. I want to hear reasons why that's a bad idea for you to cash it. Then I could be on board. But until then, it's a hard no. And that's before we get to any of the other things, which I could agree with. But, I mean, help us, help you. Maybe come up with some reasons like, okay, the nodes are supposed to run the games. Okay, how about this? You can't mint as much of your Gala if you aren't doing anything to trick out your node to make it run more games. Tie it directly into the work. Don't tie it to the economy like, oh, we're going to penalize people. No, make it so that if you actually become the best node runner in the world, that you're going to get more funds. And then you can also weight that toward individuals. If you're worried about like big companies owning a bunch of nodes, you can put weights in there to say individuals that trick their stuff out that do things better for the gaming economy. We want you. So reward people for the right reasons. This just seems to be a Federal Reserve kind of thing where they're worried about inflation. And they're worried about paying their people. And it's really, ultimately, the lower Gala goes, the less they can pay their people. That's the only thing I can get out of it. They won't say that, but that's what I'm getting out.
In response to the etymology, if the vote goes yes, it doesn't mean the Gala is not decentralized. There is a lot of people out there rooting for the yes vote just because they think they can compound. And by compounding, they're going to make a lot of Gala, but they don't understand what Titan was saying at the beginning. The more nodes compound, it doesn't mean you're getting more and more Gala every day. So, so if you start in at 70 Galas and then you work your way up and there is more nodes turning on, maybe you end up with like 10 more Galas a day. and it's not going to be more rewarding. So a lot of people are misunderstanding what is going on. The math are pretty complicated. They try to explain it. People don't understand it. People don't have time to read into all the little details. So that's why these spaces are good. But the main reason why you should vote no is not because of any of that or to make more galas or nothing. It's because the freedom of you to mint when you need your galas, because you given what Gala told you to when you bought the note, which is given the computer power. So you're getting reward for giving the computer power. The same thing with the spider tank. You play spider tank, you get rewarded. You bought the note or you bought tanks to play with it. They promise you get rewards, so you should be able to reward anytime you want. I'm against like it's like you go into your bank and they buy and you work hard all or your month your week for your salary, and then the government tells you like, oh, you know what, you can only catch out like China CBDC, like you can only catch out 20% of your salary because that's all you need to leave. And it doesn't work like that. So I'm that's the only thing I'm against it. The other thing, I think if I'm doing my part, like I should be able to get my reward. That's it. That's the main thing you gotta understand. It's not about making more or less. Anyway, if you're making more galas and everything goes crazy, like let's say you start compounding and it's compound infinitely, like they were talking at the beginning for the first proposal, and then you get people minting more and more gala, it's not even good for the ecosystem because it's too many galas out there. Even though they're locked up, one day that well is going to catch out and leave the ecosystem anyway. So just leave the market determine what the economy is, what the rewards are, and how everything works. And that's what I think it should happen. But I don't think that make it centralized.
Yeah, I think Zorro's got the perfect quote for this one. I might even make a short out of it. They got to stop with all the nonsense. Just make a game. That's it. Stop with this nonsense. Leave it alone. Let it go, and focus on gaming.
Yeah.
So you've been out of the ecosystem a little bit for the day-to-day, Koizar?
Yeah, a little bit. Life gets busy, all that.
Right.
Got a family as well, so. But I've been here a long time. I got in late 2020, so I've been around and seen what's, happened during all this. Hearing more about this point system, like it feels like this artificial way to make a whale, right? Like you got to feel like, oh, hey, if I just keep holding and I keep holding, that'll grow bigger and bigger and bigger. But like you're like edgelording yourself. You're never going to be able to actually cash out. You're just going to keep building up more and more and more. Like what end? It sounds like a move to allow the people that have more nodes, even if it may not necessarily earn them more, have those points built up on it, that whoever can hold those points the longest is going to, have the most.
It's definitely possible, and that's not going to do anything for decentralization either, which is why they say they want to do it. And here's the thing too, right? So it's been pointed out that once you actually mint, let's say you manage to hold on for 7 months and something goes sideways in your life and you want to pull those rewards out, you pull them out, you're never going to be able to catch up again. And then by the time you turn around to sell that node, because there'll be NFTs at that point, nobody's going to want to buy it because you're not going to be able to catch up to anybody else. But again, that's looking through their lens. They're not concerned about that, which they should be, because these nodes that are going to be offline are not going to be providing the computing power, which is what the nodes are for in the first place. They've got to be able to do something with the nodes first. And once they do something with the nodes, then they might become valuable. But, I mean, they've had 3.5 years to do something with these nodes. And as of about 3 weeks ago, they're still just shaking hands with the server every 38 seconds. That's all they're doing. They're not doing anything else.
Well, I think it's the weird part. So now there's all these other nodes for all the other ecosystems that are also going to have their own individual token? Like, what does Gala actually do? Like, give us something. I mean, I hear film, I see music, I see all these other projects, but what are we doing here? To what end? Because now it sounds like there's nodes in that ecosystem as well. So what is a founder's node? That sounds really cool. What does that actually do then?
Yeah, originally it was supposed to be running all the games. They would have these 50,000 nodes that would be out there, and they'd be running the games on these nodes. And it would be a true node that you had, sharded or even parts of games, and you needed this ecosystem. And if 10,000 of them went down, you had 40,000 still running it. So nothing could ever shut this down. And right now there's nothing there. And now they have more nodes, and they came up with every excuse. Oh, well, we need Town Star nodes for this. Oh, well, we need Town Star or Spider Tank nodes for this. Oh, we need planets for this. And then it turned into a node there, because the word node means money printer, right? So they glommed onto that marketing, and they knew they could make money on it, but they haven't really done much with it yet to actually make them worthwhile. They're saying, oh, well, Gala Chain's going to be running on there, and transactions are going to be cleared. Fantastic. Show me the roadmap for that. Show me where on that roadmap you are, and what as you put it, the end result is. What's the end? How do we know this is actually doing something?
And one point that I want to make there that you say, Titan, and this is very important for people to understand. Like back before, I don't know if you guys remember, Gala Chain was going to have their own nodes, and they were going to have their own token. And because we stood up and we say, listen, I don't think that's something that is going to be good for the ecosystem. I don't think, we are the founder nodes. Like I have my founder nodes. I think the founder nodes, they should be the ones that run the Gala Chain. And for a moment, we felt like the founders, they were pushed aside for a new thing to come out. So this new vote is again against. I feel like it's us again fighting for that, right? And now, okay, we you guys don't allow us to have our own nodes on Gala Change, a new nodes. Now we're gonna have something that it makes you guys more into a box, like not giving us the freedom to do what we want with our rewards.
Yeah, hearing the license was like, okay, again, why? Like, you're telling me it's like gold bullion at that point, right? Like, oh, don't worry, your gold bar's in here. We have it. It's in your own little pile over here, and we'll manage it for you, but you can't come get it.
Here's something, because I just got triggered, right? I just got triggered, and it's CryptoView's fault. We're going to blame him. So I have a real problem with honoring this vote, any vote, because they didn't honor the vote that already took place on these Founders Nodes reward changes that happened last year. They said they were going to implement it. There was bonus pools. It was a 75-25 arrangement. They made a big deal out of it. They voted. It was supposed to take place. Then suddenly, 2 months ago, they changed their mind. No, that isn't going to work. Okay, why is it going to work? It's not going to work. Show me why it won't work. Trust me, it's not going to work, because they want this one. So that took a big chunk of the wind out of the sails. And this isn't the first time they did with the votes, right? Shooty booms forever. Shooty booms forever. That was supposed to be the first vote. When it didn't go their way to name the game Shooty Booms, they pulled it off the node ecosystem and put it on a spreadsheet. That's like, if they did that in the presidential election for a country, what would people say? Would they be able to trust that ever again? And then they dishonored that vote last year. So if you try and talk to them about that, they don't like it, right? But CryptoView, you're absolutely right. They have to be stuck on this, and they have to then go long term on it. The problem is I just like everything else in the world, there's a famous quote that says, "There's nothing more permanent than a temporary program." And I have a fear that if this thing passes, you're going to be locked forever into this. And I think that's crap. Honor the votes if you're going to do it that way.
What power, as a node owner, what power do you have to like prevent anything at this point if the node doesn't do anything? Because like what I'm hearing right now is like abusive employer and people that need to like unionize and say no, right? Like, hey, this isn't something that we need to have. I mean, obviously all of you together stronger coming to the table to say, hey, give us more information. Why are you not doing this? We're all standing here. It's this isn't, you can't onesie twosie tell me no. Give me something. Otherwise, what are the repercussions? And at this point, well, what are they? Are there any?
There isn't any, no. And there are DAOs being formed that but that's complicated in itself from the legal aspect.
The one that wanted to do a vault. I was in on the
so there's that ones, and there's other ones that are forming, and it's strictly on the gaming side, trying to get these gamers together and to try and help spread the love of these crypto games or blockchain games with traditional gamers in a way that they don't have to be exposed to the crypto side if they don't want to, and make it feel more optional at that point. So I would love to see that. We've talked, we've joked about unionizing, and I even stuck my winky out to get smacked at Gala by saying, listen, I volunteer to jump onto your board of directors, and I will take on that responsibility of coalescing this fantastic group of people that we've built at CFA and some of the people that we've met along the way, like Zorro and CryptoView. And we will jump right on there and help you form and tell you when you're doing something really stupid that you shouldn't do that. And to be able to have a seat at the table for the decision making. And of course, that was rejected right out. He poked fun at me. Brink poked fun at me for that. So we're trying. We've been trying. All of us have been trying for a very long time to get through to them. The MOF is right now the leader in being able to get shit done. Right? So they got an API. They can jump into Gala Chain. They're pulling some greats. They are all about gaming 100%, and they are doing all the things that you would love to see. You wish Gala would be doing themselves instead of fiddling around with all this other stuff. So I would love to see small little guilds or DAOs or places like the MOF pop up, but they've got to have something to pop into. All they got is spider tanks to use right now. If they had 3-4 choices to appeal to the different style of gamers, they're just spread too thin though with all these other things, and they can't focus on that stuff. That's sad. It's horrible.
Well, it's not what they started with, right? Like that.
Yeah.
That they advertised in the beginning. I remember my first Brave ad when I first signed into Brave, and I got that trusty ad about Gala, and I was like, oh boy, I better check this out, see what it is. And like, okay, somebody that's actually focused on gaming, somebody that's running this company that's been in gaming for a long time and should understand how these things work. But, now it sounds more as we get into this of all the diversifying, as they want to call it, to get more venture capital pulled in, that like it's, what are you doing behind the scenes? I know that games take a long time to make, but like give us more things to do. It's obvious that there's able to do more play tests in Mirandus. I get that it's not perfect right now, but let people keep getting at these things. Let them live it a little bit. If we've been here for so long already, just give us something to do. Spider Tanks is great, don't get me wrong. That's a good brawler to like get up and get into quick, drop in, drop out. Kind of feels that Modern Warfare a little bit. I've played it a few times. I don't know how you, Zorro, Crypto, it sounds like you guys used to play those kinds of games anyway, yeah?
Yeah. And
So,
Superior. I like Superior.
Okay.
I haven't seen a lot on Superior lately. I saw one ad on Twitter, though. They did put an ad up on Twitter.
Yeah, but we cannot play together. Like when me and Zorro, because Zorro is too high level to play with me, that I'm so low level. and we want to play together and talk like the old times, and we can't. We
Well,
can't.
it's like the
Oh,
core of
man.
gaming, right? Is the community around it. Like that's how how many internet friends have we made that we've maybe never even met in real life, or we are lucky to.
So when we had Brink on one time, I let loose on Brink because I bought a spider tank. Family Man loaned me a flamethrower for it, right? I couldn't get into the game to play with Faz because he was ranked too much higher than I was. I'm terrible at these games, by the way, if you haven't figured that out. So we couldn't play together. We went to get on and play, and we couldn't play together. And then they fixed something behind the scenes. There was a patch that was pushed, and we got with Haas, and we organized a game night that we broadcast here, and a bunch of us were playing. We had a really good time, and you're right. We're in our headphones. We're talking. We're having a great time. We're bullshitting about life, the universe, and everything while we're wasting each other on this game, and that was fantastic. That was a hell of a lot of fun. So you guys are absolutely 100% correct. They have to get that part of it ironed out quickly.
Yep, they have to.
I mean, Meow Match is fun. I've been doing that on my mobile. I know there's the whole cat game thing. It's something quick that I can. Your mic's muted, Crypto.
I play Meow Match now.
Those cats.
We love Meow Match, man. There you go. There you go. I'm level
no.
200, man.
Let me sell the babies. I'll be interested. That would be fun, right? I mean, so to be able to create or craft your own into NFTs, and regardless of selling them or trading them or whatever, I'm not talking from a money standpoint here, but to be able to build your own family of cats that you created from that, and to be able to trade them or put them on a marketplace, I mean, that's what I consider blockchain gaming. And the Town Star thing, I've always loved. I have played. I'm no good at shooting anything, just so you know. I can't shoot anything. My kids waste me when we play PlayStation, and they laugh, right? He's like, I'm not even trying. I'm like, you're 10, shut up. So I like the builders, right? There was this ancient game on the computers called 1602 AD that I got addicted to. You had to sail to these islands and build this cool thing, and the Sim Cities. You know, so when Town Star was there, I was like, oh, this I might like. I can build a town, and it wasn't like that. It was just this race to get your damn gasoline pumping, and then you're pissed off because nothing else works. I mean, it was dumb. So I played it for a while, but I haven't played forever.
Yeah, same boat here. I mean, my gripe has been with Meow Match at this point that I have these NFT cats now, but I can't move them. I can't do anything with them. I'm like chest locked on them. I go in and log in. I look at them, and they say that they're not able to be moved around. So, like, what? Again, to what end? Like, you guys launched it, and I get that you're integrating a previously developed game into your ecosystem, but like, you're doing it with other games. Like, where do your priorities set here? I mean, honestly, they didn't buy a large development company that was doing really well. They found one that had some decent games that they could pick off for a discounted price and pull that into their ecosystem. That's how you do that. That's business 101. I'm fine with that, but like, integrate that shit. Get it in here. Let us use it. How do we earn with it? Like, do I need to hold on to my kitten cash right now and hope that one day I'll be able to convert that into, Gala or some other useful thing? Like, it's literally their roadmap has been like, we have this game, we're going to put it on chain. You'll get NFT cats, and that's it. Well, we're there.
Well,
Now
they
what?
say Gary chain, Gala chain is already getting transactions and everything. So I think it's a matter of time. Eventually, they're gonna come out with a guy, and you're gonna be able to move your cats.
And get the tokens going in there so you can buy the food for the cat. There's a sink, right? Animals have to eat. Animals have to sleep. Buy it a cat house or a cat tree and put it in there. And how cool, listen, so how cool would it be to log into your cat game, right? And instead of seeing shit that's locked up like you're saying, what if you saw there was an animation of your cats climbing up the cat tree that you bought as a welcome to the game? That is what's going to bring people in here.
It's already there.
You know,
That's the thing. Like if you play, like that's part of the game, right? Like you're building a little ecosystem for
your
your
house,
6 cats to live in or whatever.
Yeah,
You're doing that.
yes,
It's all there.
yes,
There,
and it
but
shows
yeah.
you that when you log in, and it reinforces that sale. Again, Business 101, it reinforces that sale, and then they give you a little pop up. Don't you want that fucking cat tree to look cool and purple? How about some LED lights for that cat tree?
Can you buy the food or the cleaning of the cat with Gala? I haven't tried that, and I don't think you can. No.
No, there's no. The only thing you could do right now was buy the 2 cats, and that's
No,
been
no,
it.
you don't. I didn't bought the cats. They gave it to me. I
Well, yeah,
level
you.
one up. I level one up already. Like I have it on 3 stars, I think. But what I'm
Okay.
saying is, that those dollars that you get for like feeding them
Yeah,
and
yeah, the kitten
cleaning them and
cash.
all that.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Can you actually
What?
can you actually buy those with Gala? Like they should. Like I remember when we were playing Town Crush that is coming back. I think they bringing back Town Crush, which is cool. You couldn't buy a bag of stars with Gala though, with Town Coin. That was in the time. So maybe they can do the same thing with How much?
Believe it or not, that was a fun game too. Town Crush.
Yeah, I beat all the levels. I think Town Crush was awesome. Thank God Warren got it back. I love Warren. He's still around and the shot and waited, and now we getting the game back. Let's see how it goes.
That was kind of weird. He like disappeared and then came back. I wonder what happened there.
He was talking on the Platinum all the time.
Well, here's the thing, and I've said this before too. I would use Gala as a sync to listen to conversations, to put a microphone in, have an open mic for Brink and Shiremeyer's conversations, or that kerfuffle between Bucks and Eric. I would have paid a lot of Gala to hear that one where they were fighting over what was going to be used on the chain. I would have paid a lot of Gala to listen to that conversation.
Yeah, like that's crazy. I think we gotta wait a little bit.
All right, so we're running at like an hour 37 here, so we should probably wrap up. And I do have one question remaining that I would love to get your opinions on. What is it going to take? Because we're all still sucked in. Obviously, we just talked for an hour and 40 minutes about Gala. We're all still here, even though we're all bitching about things, right? What's it going to take for you to be happy, or at least be uplifted by the end of the year that Gala can do? What do they have to do to keep you happy by the end of the year?
Games, simply games. Yeah, get games out. I mean, even if I'm going to complain about Meow Match as I just did, like I'm still going to play the game because it's playable, right? Like I know I can do something with it, and I'll go to Spider Takes and I'll do those things, but focus on that.
So let's quantify that a little deeper, right? So you've had a Walking Dead play test. You've had a couple of play tests. What is there a particular one you would like to see, even if it's not ready? I mean, it doesn't have to be, polished all up, right? But to be able to play on the regular, what would keep you happy?
Miranda's hands down.
That one's I think too early though. I think we'd all love to see
I know
that.
it's too early. That's why I even dropped earlier. Of like, even give me some playtest action for longer than a week and a half or 2 weeks. Like, let me just run around in there and like start
Sink
over.
your
Give me a
teeth in.
reset button and like keep working on the mechanics and figuring out how these things work. I know it's going to change, but it's every game. You gotta learn muscle memory and you gotta figure it out.
Crypto View, what's something that'll make you feel good and get you happy if they can do it by the end of the year?
Well, there is one thing that I've been asking for a long time. Like I was in the first Galaverse, like I was in both of them, but my favorite one, of course, was the one on what is it? I forgot the Las Vegas, in Vegas. So they put us an auction to buy lands from Walking Dead, and I got the map, and I choose like few lands where to put them. I don't even know what I was buying. So I was like, let me get a bunch on this side, bunch on that side, a little bit up here, and I end up buying all of them because I won all the bets.
Yeah, give me 10. Fuck it.
Yeah.
We'll put them over here.
Who cares? So what happened? I was creating all my strategy, and then I found out to having my lands together were better than they had them all. So what happened is,
Psych!
yeah, I know. I wait so long with these lands because they say, "No, if you sell the land, you're gonna lose your spot on the map." Like, so I hold my lands forever. So I asked them, like, I keep asking them why you guys don't do the land rush and take out like the map. So the thing that I really want at the end of the game is at the end of the year is Walking Dead. Like that's like one of my favorite play tests so far. I play with Zorro all the time. We were able to play together, five monsters together,
Yeah.
build the town together. So it was pretty cool. So the game that I'm looking for, even though I love Miranda's, the sound that the town of the sun is behind me. The Citadel of the Sun. I love
Yeah,
Miranda.
there you
I have
go.
a lot of Miranda stuff too. I have a DAO with friends from Miranda's. We own like a big town of the art duke. So
Ooh.
Nice.
yeah. So but Walking Dead is like the one that I want to have. I know Miranda is far away, so I don't have any expectation for that. But I think Walking Dead is something that they can come out earlier. Maybe we can, not making us be able to go inside the buildings and stuff, but at least do the land rush. And I want to get my lands together in some way. And I also, and one thing that they say in the last AMA that I really was disappointed when they say, oh, we don't want to do a land rush because we want you guys to have the feeling of the lands before you place your land or where you want to have your land. And I say we didn't have that privilege, and we were the first person who bought the lands. We didn't know what we were getting into, and now you're getting people 3 years later saying, oh, we want you guys to have the feeling of the land to see where you want to place the land. So I feel like they got us pushed behind, and we were like the first one who bought the land. So if I want them to do something about it by the end of the year, like say, listen, you guys have a land already placed on. If you guys want to move it around, we're gonna give you the first moving advantage because you work with us from the beginning, and that's what I want to see before the end of the year.
Awesome. Zorro, you're up, man. What is going to make you smile even bigger if they accomplish it by the end of the year?
Only one thing, very simple. Give me a game, complete, finish, playable, fun, that I can play with my friends. That's it. That a game that it will make me addicted to put time on it. That's it. That's what gamers want. And have fun. I don't even care if the game is not gonna come with a reward system, honor system. Just give me a game. That's it.
Cool.
A triple A game, Zorro. Triple A game.
Yeah, that would be that would be amazing if we close this year with having that type of game and a game that we can share and spend time with our friends. That's it.
Yeah, we need a triple A game. If we're not gonna get rewards, at least a triple. Like this.
For me, I would like they've alluded to, because the first roadmap they put out, they were off of it in 2 months, right? So for me, I would like to see a realistic roadmap that they honor, that they do, and they're held accountable for. That's what I would like to see. Even if it doesn't have all the fancy, guaranteed game by October, because we know that's not realistic, right? But we have a game that we can stand up in October that you'll be able to play straight through Christmas.
Yeah.
Okay, even if it's an alpha, if it's a beta, whatever. and then stick to it, and then take the accountability for it. I don't want any more excuses.
I agree.
All right, gentlemen, it's been both a privilege, a pleasure, and an honor having you three join us tonight. Thanks for taking time out of your evenings. I hope that people learned tonight a lot more about this node vote and what you're really getting with it. We're not going to sit here and tell you how to vote. We don't want to do that. Weigh the pros, weigh the cons. If you're a yes person, run with it. If you're a no person, run with it. As long as you're happy with yourself, that's what counts. Gentlemen, take it easy.
Till next time.